Hello. Welcome back to Underrated Movies. I'm your guy, I'm your man, Mr. Elton Henry, and today I'm going to talk to you of another film that I believe is severely underrated, and one of Steven Spielberg's most underrated movies. Munich, starring Eric Bana, Daniel Craig, and Jeffrey Rush. It's a story based off the true story of the assassinations of the... This is a true story based on the assassination attempts on those responsible for the Munich massacre back in the 70s. This is your spy drama thriller, released back in 2005, and it's Steven Spielberg movie. And I didn't see this in theaters. Saw it, rented it, watched it with my folks, and for one being, I think this is one of his best movies. I think it's also one of his darkest movies, and Steven Spielberg has made some pretty gritty movies, and I think this might be his controversial. It reminds me a little bit of Detroit. Just how gritty and just the vibe of it just from watching the movie. Eric Bana, this is actually probably my favorite film of his, of his filmography. He plays a guy named Enver Kaufman or Kruffman, where he's been invited or being offered to join this secret mission to assassinate 11, I guess, Israel personnel who staged a plan to kidnap and hold hostage and eventually murdered the Olympic players in the Olympic Munich in Germany. And his film and his character pretty much carries the film. He's kind of the heart of the film, where he feels he must join on this mission. He feels he's just out of respect. He feels he can do some good to join in and maybe seek some sort of redemption out of it. He's also going to be a new father. He's going to be he's been told he's going to be away for a while. He joins in with Daniel Craig and a few other characters to join in on this mission. It's actually kind of cool when you're seeing their interaction, that they take time to really get to know one another and they feel like a family, which is actually one of the strongest points in this movie, where you feel these characters connecting and really trying to bond in this very dark film. You see these characters formulate a bond, and it's actually very cool, and you feel for the characters as the movie goes along, where they kind of get into worse situations and worse, leading up to their next target. It's actually one of Steven Spielberg's most suspenseful films, and I remember when I watched it, I was actually very mesmerized how realistic this film tries to be, and it was very gripping. There were a couple of scenes in there that I was just riveted by in Steven Spielberg, and I believe Steven Spielberg is underrated when it comes to building up suspense in his movies. This guy is a master at it. And for example, there's a scene, one of the first targets that they pull up in this film, and they follow this guy. He's supposed to be some sort of like rabbi priest, and they follow him in the city. Daniel Craig, and it was Eric Bana, and then one of the demolition guys, the bomber guy, who's the guy who specializes in explosives. They follow the guy into his apartment, but they don't make it up to the apartment. They make it into the lobby, and he asks him, "Do you know who we are?" or something like that. And then he shakes his head, no. Actually, no, I remember how it goes. Eric Bana and the guy, they ask for the guy's identity and ask him, are you name by name? And the guy says yes. And he basically pull out their weapons ready to shoot him, and they point their guns at him. And then Eric Bana asks him, do you know why we're here? And the guy just goes and just does this as like some sort of like prayer or something to kind of get him to lower the weapon down. And then you can see in Eric Bana's face, he's conflicted of wanting to go through with shooting him. I mean, I'm sure it's scary shooting somebody, maybe the first time. And then it takes a moment. He's like, do you know why we're here? He asks again, second time, and then the other guy, Eric Bana's partner, lets out a bullet, and then Eric Bana continues, and then they just kept just shooting the guy several times, and then he falls on the ground. They take off or run. And each mission they do, that scene was intense, but each mission they do, it gets worse and intense. There's another great scene in there where they actually built up a bomb or an explosive into a phone. And then there's a scene where one of the daughters of one of their targets actually answer the phone, and they try their best to warn the other teammate not to set the bomb off to so they don't hurt innocents. And that's what they do. They try to booby trap their targets, and then they blow them up. But sometimes that doesn't always work. Sometimes the explosive goes. There could be some sort of malfunction that's happening, or it has to be some sort of certain range, or they need to signal somebody to let the explosive on so they could booby trap the guy. There's so many different scenarios where it could also be life threatening to the crew themselves of taking down these guys responsible for the Munich assassination. Also, there's also a flashback in here I have to point out there, and this is a dark and serious film, but to put a little bit of light on this, and I thought it was just a little bit funny, that there's a scene in there where Eric Bana comes back home and spends time with his family, and he gets intimate with his wife, and he starts having flashbacks of things he remembered knowing about the event in the Munich. They even showed it in slow motion. So it actually got me thinking, like, if I'm having sex, will I be able to remember things? I mean, I'm just throwing it out there. Making it like just dramatic and stuff, and like maybe that's what I need. maybe I need a little freshness going on to remember certain things, because sometimes I forget where I put my keys at, and maybe some sweet little loving might do me in to remember, like, hey, okay, this is why I remember it. I'm just saying, but this film is also brutally violent. This is actually one of his second most violent film, compared to Saving Private Ryan. And there's some brutal scenes in it. I actually like the action and the brutality of the film. It's really actually kind of just it actually gets a little bit scary and very shocking indeed. I remember this was nominated for Best Picture. It was nominated for 5 Academy Awards. I don't think it won anything, but it was nominated. I remember it being nominated that year. I remember I was watching the Oscars, and I was rooting for. This is off topic a little bit, but I was rooting for King Kong, and for it to win all its awards. And I forgot what won. Did Brokeback Mountain win, or what movie came out in 2005 that won Best Picture? I don't know. But this one, I think, is one of Steven Spielberg's most underrated. Now, it is dialogue driven. It gets dialogue kind of midway in the film, but it gets really intense when they're on their mission and they start hunting these people. And the performances here are great. Like, it's a very, I think, forgotten Steven Spielberg masterpiece. It's actually, I think, yeah, like for his filmography, they always go back to Jurassic Park or Saving Private Ryan, or now maybe this new West Side Story, but I don't know. But this right here, Munich, is one you have to check out in this filmography. Munich, starring Eric Bana. Have you seen it? What you thought about it? Let me know in the comment section below. Like, subscribe, and let me know what is your favorite underrated movie. And also, let me know what you deemed to be Steven Spielberg's most underrated film. Because I think Munich is one of them. And also follow me on TikTok at underratedmovie04. And I'll see you on my next movie recommendation. Underrated.